Hello, South Buyers. It's time for another conversation centered around South by Southwest 2022. This one takes us back to the red carpet prior to the finale for this year's film festival. The film is not a movie at all, but one of the most critically acclaimed TV series from the past decade, Atlanta on FX. Co-creator and star Donald Glover and several of his cast and crewmates spoke with me and a few other reporters prior to the South by screening of the first two episodes of season 3, which premiered March 24th on FX. Because there are multiple people speaking here, if you're only listening right now, it may be easier for you to watch this interview at booksonpod.com. If you want to keep listening, that's fine. You'll mostly hear from Donald, his brother Steven, who is a writer and producer on the show, Zazie Beetz, who plays Van, director and executive producer Hiro Murai, and Stephanie Robinson, who is a writer on the show and the first person to answer the third question, which is fittingly about the writer's room. My mic didn't catch the first question put forth by Ryan Schwinn with Sneak Peek, a show on the University of Texas Student Television Network, or TSTV. Ryan asked what it was like returning to that Atlanta world and those characters after such a long hiatus.
How'd it feel?
It was pretty weird.
It was weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I think definitely. I think some of for the acting, like it was like, do I know this person? Like I was rewatching episodes, being like, who's that? But I wonder, do you guys feel that way? Because you guys were kind of writing.
I was gonna say for the writers, I kind of feel like we had a bunch of ideas because we had some time off and we came in like with just a bunch of crazy ideas and like kind of wanting to get all this like energy and ideas out. It was good and kind of cathartic to get into it. Yeah.
What was each of your goals for the finality of this series?
Goals? Have more fun. That was it. Just have more fun.
That was the motto for season 4. Have more fun.
Yeah, have more fun. It's like, I think that I like how the season feels as a whole. Like, I feel like if you watch it, it feels good. It always feels. When I watched like The Office the first time, I was like, oh, that's a good. Okay, I don't need anymore. It didn't feel like that, and I feel like that's how it feels for us. Where I was like, but the season 4 motto, I think season 4 is kind of our best. I thought season 3 was our best, but I was like, yo, season 4 is like even better, and it's because we had more fun. Like we didn't like overthink anything. We were like really loose and really
Who
like
cares, huh?
yeah, like it's like who cares? Like it's like kind of thing. It was good. Yeah.
Too late.
How's your experience in the writer's room been as the show has evolved and moved on and the team's been together longer?
I feel like we've all gotten closer. I mean, like that show, sort of like what you were talking about, Donald, like it doesn't happen, the connection I feel like we have doesn't happen often. And we were all extremely lucky in now having the time away from each other and then to come back to actually do it, but then in the context of the show ending, it's like exactly what you were saying, Donald. You were able to compare it and juxtapose it with every other experience you're lucky enough to have, and it really just is special. That's what I take away
I
from
know you
it.
guys were fighting.
We did fight, but it was good.
Family fighting.
It was like family fighting. Like we were split like in a lot of ways. Like we fought in the writer's room, but in a good way. Like we don't write like, oh, what does Earn do? We were like talk about what's happening in the news.
That's how
or like
we get our good ideas.
Yeah.
It's literally just talking through stuff and the fights and the arguments and the back and forth. That's how we get all our ideas.
What's
Anything from the headlines that you used in season 3 and 4?
It's gonna look like we did, but we didn't. Like it was like we wrote this in 2019. I'm gonna say that a billion times because it's very important that people know that we wrote this before the pandemic. So it's gonna feel like a lot of this stuff was like ripped from the headlines, but it's because the world is predictable. Like everything that you're fighting about now, you're gonna fight about forever, and like that is the balance of life, and that's what's important. So like, yeah, like there wasn't anything that we were like, I guess, ripped from the headlines. Although there is one episode that is like something that happened that we have a take on.
What's your next big prediction then?
Oh, no, here it comes. No. You want a hot take? No, I don't have one. It's like, I don't see it, I guess, as like a Nostradamus thing as far as like, you can kind of see what it's going to be. Like, NFTs is going to be a thing, but not in the way that people think they're going to be a thing. It's going to be something like that. A Ponzi scam? No, I think it'll be more just like a ticket thing. Like, you know how like, what's it called? Like Ticketmaster and what's the other one? StubHub? There won't be any more StubHubs. Because you'll be able to like lock shit in and it'll be like, this is the real thing. Like, it'll be way easier to like not fake things online that we were dealing with, and it's gonna affect a lot of other stuff in ways I don't think people are gonna understand for probably about 5 years, and they'll be like, oh yeah, remember we had all that like kind of corruption in this section and now it's just gone because like you can't lie about this. That's probably what's gonna happen.
I like it. Thank you.
No problem.
What do you think will surprise the fans the most about this 3rd and 4th season?
That's a good question. I don't know. What do you guys?
What's the question?
What do you think is going to surprise people the most about this 34th season?
I have an idea, but
Oh, go for
Spoil
it.
it? There's a couple of things, but I don't want to spoil them.
Maybe like be cryptic about it.
Our show is about week to week, taking people's expectations and fucking with them. So I think everything is gonna be kind of like, hopefully, yeah. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. I don't think people, it's fun if you know what's going on. That's why things aren't like 8 seasons anymore. Because you know what's gonna happen. It's like, let me guess, they're gonna get married. Like kind of all this shit. And I feel like you can't, I don't want to do that. And I'd much rather make a show where a kid can watch it in 20 years and just turn it on and know what's happening, as opposed to having to be like, oh, I didn't understand it because I didn't see season 2 or whatever. Like, we're really conscious about that. But if you watch the whole thing, there is like a line. So yeah, there's a lot of that.
I think people are going to be angry.
I hope people are angry.
I think people are going to be
We're gonna
That's
go.
my cryptic take.
We're gonna go ahead and go on.
Okay.
Thanks to Emily Reese for operating the camera and Joshua Bates for video editing. If you have some video editing work for Josh, hit him up on Instagram at Forager Digital. And of course, thank you to Gentleman Jesus as always for the intro and outro music. Find more of his work at gentlemanjesus.com. Check out all of my coverage of South by Southwest and my other chats with filmmakers, authors, and interesting people about their stories at booksonpod.com. For Books on Pod, I'm Trey Elling. Good day.